Welcome back to DAGryffyn Hobby. My name's Dave. Today I went to the Greenberg train show in Edison, New Jersey. I have to say, the show in Edison is always a good one. Sometimes it's better than others, but always a good show. This one had such a great collection of post-war up to modern O-gauge, had all sorts of HO, some G, a bunch of different toys. It was a pretty good show. People have been asking me, what's going on with the $20 challenge? Are you only spending $20? Are you going to do a $20 challenge? And I think the real honest answer is that the $20 challenge has been missing for so long at this point that it can be considered legally dead. So is it possible I may go to a train show and spend only $20 or $30? Sure. Is it likely? No, probably not. No. unless I'm going to a show every single weekend, I don't think there's chances of that. So for the time being, until it returns from exile, I'm going to say the $20 challenge is officially dead. Don't let that stop you, though, from going to a show and trying to get out of there with only spending $20 or $25 and seeing what you can get. It can be a lot of fun. I never really thought about it before, but I guess I would consider this Greenberg show in Edison my local show. I know there are probably other shows and I'm just missing them. I still haven't been to the Wayne show, and I really do need to get to that one. I'm sure there are others I'm missing that would be more appropriate to be a local show for me, but for the time being, I'm going to say it's the Edison show. That means I always bump into a lot of great people. We have some good conversations, and every once in a while, somebody gives me a freebie to go home with. Today, Joe gave me this pacemaker caboose. It's a Marks unit. Needs some wheels, but I can totally use one of these. So I've got extra wheels and couplers and all that. So I'll get this thing back on the rails before too long. How about a random caboose shell? What would I want with a random caboose shell? I was talking about possibly doing some sort of custom work. If you're on my Facebook group, you might see that Norman's been doing some custom work with a couple of old post-war caboose shells, and it's looking really cool. And what got me thinking about it today was not just his videos, but this neat little custom piece that I picked up from my buddy Jim. I didn't realize what it was until he told me. I just liked the look of it. It could use some better trucks and a center rail pickup for some lights, but look at this custom caboose made from 2 shells. That's fun. I like that. And I just thought it had some, nice details, and they had done a pretty decent job on it. Is it prototypical? What do I know? Do I care? No, it's neat. And what are the chances of seeing something like this again? I'm thinking a new base, new trucks, and lighting it, and I think that'll just be a lot of fun to run. Anytime I can find MTH rolling stock for 20 bucks, I'm gonna grab it. At first glance, it looks unrun. New in box, $20 for a scale MTH Conrail caboose. That's cool. I mean, since I have the engine now, the Conrail stuff is grabbing my eye more than it used to. And I saw this under a table on the floor behind some Weaver boxcars. And I was just like, that's an MTH box. Let's get a closer look. The thing's gorgeous. Super psyched about finding this for $20. I was certainly not looking for this item. I mean, that's not true. I've kind of been looking, but not with any urgency. But we got a good deal on some post-war Lionel, which is really what it's all about. At this point, I think I have, for the most part, the post-war stuff that I need. There are plenty of things I would like, but this piece is something I've been looking for for a decent price in decent condition for some time. I see them frequently busted up or just loose or whatever, but this looks like it's in pretty good shape. I don't know if the whistle works, but I don't care. It's the Pennsylvania 6-wheel truck tender. I have a 6-wheel truck tender, but it's got a Lionel lines shell on it because the Pennsylvania shell that was on it was just, it was horrible. The paint was coming off. It was white and slightly damaged, and it just wasn't worth keeping. But this one's nice enough that I am very happy with it. I didn't even realize it had the box until I paid the guy. And he's like, "Oh, you want them in the box?" And I was like, "What? Box?" Actually, but I believe what I said was, "Yeah, I didn't expect them to have the box." But this is only part of the purchase. The other part is right here. And I probably should have taken a closer look at it, but I was excited about the tender. I probably should have taken a closer look at the wheels. But anyway, what is it? I'm not going to tell you yet. A couple shows ago, I was hanging out with my buddy David from DB Tech, and he was looking at an engine. And, you know, we went back and forth, and I think he offered the guy $90, and the guy took it. So he went home with it. Once I got a closer look at it, I saw that it was different than the ones I had. And I was like, okay, now I need one. It's another item I've been casually keeping an eye out for. It is something that goes really nicely with this tender. It's a 671, but it doesn't have the lever through the top. The E unit is inside, and you've got the wire to swap it back and forth to control E unit. So my other, well, I don't have a 671 anymore. I have a 681 that came from my uncle, and that's an engine I remember seeing as a kid on his layout, and that has the lever out the top, and it sticks out so far. It just doesn't look right. So once I realized the one that David picked up didn't have the lever out the top, I was like, oh, I need to find one. And I found one. Does it work? Does it need a total rebuild? Am I gonna have to take the whole thing completely apart, do some repairs and some oiling? Well, I kind of hope so. I mean, I'll be taking it apart anyway, so. I'm just psyched to have another turbine, this one without the levers protruding from the top, and the Pennsy tender. I have wanted that tender for so long. Now, it doesn't have the backup lights in it, but it has the holes in the tender shell. So I've always considered throwing some LEDs in another shell like that. So maybe I'll do that with this one. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just clean it up and run it. But either way, I am super psyched to have the Pennsy 12-wheel tender. This is one of my favorite parts of new trains here, is the will it or will it not work when I give it power? Are we taking bets? Who thinks it's going to work? Who thinks it's not? Well, you know what? It doesn't matter. So let's just hit it with power, see what happens. Okay, it works. The E unit's hanging up just a little. The rear truck is bouncing around like it has a severely bent axle, which is something I should be able to see when I pick these things up to look at them, but I never do look that close. But it works. It goes forward, neutral, reverse, very nicely. It almost 100% needs a cleaning and a lubrication, so I'll be doing that shortly. But it works. I'm super happy. Well, it wants to work, so that's good. I'm not going to play with it too much because the last time I had a tender shell like this that I liked, it wasn't the Pennsylvania one, but it was a really perfect condition Lionel Lines one. I was playing with the whistle, and before I realized it, the whistle had melted the top of the tender. Apparently, it was the wrong whistle for that tender shell, and it destroyed it.
and I'm honestly a little scarred by that. So I'm not going to be playing with this whistle too much. I mean, I don't really use the whistles anyway, but it's just nice to know that they work. The engine's going to need a full service, and so is the tender. So that's going to be kind of fun. And hopefully I can get to that soon, if not this evening. So we'll see what happens. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for watching. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time on DAGryffyn Hobby.